how you doing? I haven't talked to you in forever.
I don't know why I hit my microphone turn on button so aggressively there, but anyway. G'day, ladies and gentlemen, legends of the highest regard. Sorry, that was way over the top. G'day, ladies and gentlemen, legends of the highest regard. Welcome back to an evening spent where we fly in complete and utter denial. Whether it's denial about our ability to fly properly or in denial about what we chat about in the chat, we're just in continuous denial this evening. So this is leg number 4. We're going to be heading here from Asiut to Luxor down the Nile River. So we've got about 160 nautical miles to travel this evening. So a little bit of housekeeping first up, and that is, I know this is not the usual aircraft that you would be used to seeing in these streams. Turns out the Canadian World Update broke my little Yamcat thing that I was using in these streams. But that's not an issue. There is an update available on flightsim.to. I was looking at it when I realised that the aircraft no longer worked. So I will be able to grab that. I just didn't have the opportunity before the stream because we were talking like 10-15 minutes prior. And I would have needed to shut down, download, install, restart, test, etc. You know, I don't want to go pushing the stream back if I can avoid it. So that basically covers the housekeeping side of things, although I have noticed that I haven't entered the necessary details in the Flight Live studio above, so I will get that entered before we depart, maybe, if I remember. Otherwise you guys might have to remind me, because you and I both know that my ability to remember to do things that I said 2 minutes ago, it's non-existent, really. Now, I will be probably at this volume this evening. Got to keep the voice in check. It is a little bit tired after streaming and cooking and also being slightly sick. So I may or may not have made a mistake in the previous stream where I was trying to project my voice because I spent the next day and a half with a very, very sore throat. So I'll try not to do that again. Lesson learned. But without further ado, I feel like it should be, well, actually not should be, it is time for us to see who's decided to join us over in the chat this evening. Yeah. But first, we're going to have some 80s disco tunes. That's what Epidemic Sound has decided is going to be the third song or fourth song or whatever we're up to in the stream. Mitty says, sick, are you getting better? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I've still got the and all that, but that may also be because, part of the reason might be because 2 days ago I mowed the lawns, and now everybody, the regulars know, myself and Hay Fever, we have we have a domestic violence relationship, basically. It just fucking fists me, and I throw everything at it to try and keep it under some sort of control. That's probably the best way of describing it. So that may also be the reason why I'm sounding like the Little Mermaid at 500 feet below sea level, trying to speak through a scuba diving equipment. Yeah. Thank you, Tutti. That's what I wanted to read. Appreciate that. Hey, at least I know what I might be up for. But no, I think it's just a combination of I mildly got that slightly tonsillitis-y cold thing that was going around, and then I decided, hey, the best thing to do is do the one thing that really sets off the allergies and mow the lawns in spring. After it had been sunny for 3 days, after it had been raining non-stop. So as you can imagine, every single grass seed in the general area found a new home in my nose and my sinuses, very likely. I hope they're settling in, very comfortable. I hope the payments are not too expensive, honestly. So guys, do obviously let me know with my vocals, the sim, the music, etc., especially seeing as I am going to be speaking at a slightly different volume this evening. Let me know how the sounds are. Let me know if you like this volume throughout the stream as well, because I became so used to projecting my voice when my microphone was not in front of me, when I had a different setup. And it's a habit that I may actually just need to train out of myself. I'm not 100% sure. So if you keep me, you guys can let me know throughout the stream, and that would be great. Now, as I said before, we really need to get into that chat and say good day to all the wonderful people who've joined us first. But first, that's just my beers and my dinner saying g'day to everyone. I figured you probably wouldn't want to hear that, but you get the general idea of what just happened. Alright, so Tutti is here. Obviously, he's asking for playing suggestions. Tutti, mate, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing really, really well. What day are we? Thursday. Happy Thursday? I don't know what's so happy about Thursday. I'm sure we can find something, though. Right, scrolling. William Kelly says he's flying into NILE. Well, William, you're in the right place for that, mate. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing awesome. Hope you really are doing awesome. Or something along those lines. Midi37 is here. G'day, mate. Welcome to the stream. It's a pleasure to have you here as usual. It's also, I'm loving your enthusiasm. There we go. Oh my god, he's found a word within 5 seconds of trying to think about it on stream. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a, I'm hoping somebody took some bloody video of that, because it's not going to happen very often. Yeah, Midi, g'day again. It's awesome to have you here. Calling Pigeon is here. He says, hi pilots. Calling Pigeon's obviously saying something I'm not, at least in my sense anyway, and that is that he's seeing pilots here. Now, the rest of you might be pilots, but I don't know if I can classify myself as that based on my flying abilities. But anyway, that's a conversation for, I was going to say another time, but actually technically is a conversation for a stream. Anyway, Bryce, stop getting distracted and focus on the goddamn chat. Benny Big Bucks is here. He says, g'day Brycel, g'day Benny mate, welcome to the stream, hope you're doing awesome. We have a calmer stream today. Well, just because my voice is not all over the shot and being projected in yelling doesn't mean that the stream is going to be any calmer, Midi. Doesn't mean anything. The hands will still go all over the place. It just means the volume might be slightly more under control. That might be a good thing, actually. I may not finish a stream and just sort of be like, like I am after long streams sometimes, especially the 24-hour one. Who would have figured? Zenon says, can I do Auslan? I absolutely can, Zenon. That means fuck you. That means you're awesome, and that means you're not awesome. That's about the and you know that. The Auslan I can do basically is extremely offensive, and basically all of them mean in some roundabout way, why don't you go and screw yourself? Which, you know, can sometimes be enjoyable, I guess, if you, especially if you sit on your hand, do a bit of the stranger move. Tutti says he has my chesty thing. Oh, so you know exactly what I'm talking about then, Tutti. It's not bad in any way, shape or form. It's just really annoying because it's there, it sits there, it stays there, it just doesn't bugger off and doesn't seem to really get any better no matter what you do. But it's not bad enough to stop you from doing anything. So it's just sort of like, yeah, you want to basically shove your hand down your throat and rip it out from your chest, which, please, I do not recommend doing that. That's just a, disclaimer on the stream. Do not shove your hand down your throat and pull mucus, I guess, out of your chest. There will be certain medical repercussions that could occur from that, and I don't want to be held responsible or liable, so I figured I'd just get that disclaimer. Well, the word salads have started already, and we're 16, nearly 17 minutes in, so beautiful. Right, I'm just going to quickly throw in the various details that I need into Fly Live Studio so that you guys have some idea of where we're going, even though I assume that you guys already have some idea of where we're going. But, go. Beautiful, that should hook up in a second. Now, our next task, the other thing, I still haven't sorted out Track IR because, of course, the only thing right now that I'm playing on my PC with Track IR is, of course, the sim. And the only time I'm flying in the sim at the moment is when I'm streaming or when I'm making videos. I don't use Track IR when I make videos, so it always just comes into the forefront of my mind as I'm about to hit go live, and I'm like an idiot. But don't worry, eventually, the regulars can tell you that eventually I will remember, and eventually we will have a working Track IR again. Again, know that it probably affects you guys massively, but it certainly affects my ability to fly. That is for sure. Aussie Bush Adventure. Sorry, let's try that again. Adventure Bush Fly. How the hell did I get Aussie Adventure Bush out of that? I know I've had 2 beers in the last 4 hours. You wouldn't think it would have that much of an effect, but maybe it does. All right, so if I remember rightly, this thing is stupidly easy to start. I think it's just as simple as those 2 buttons, and then we can literally turn... Oh, no, hang on. We need to also do that. And then I believe, if I'm not mistaken, we can literally turn the key. Yep. Simple as that. One of the easiest aircraft to start within the sim, both payware, freeware, and what's included. I should probably make sure that that's actually working and giving us flaps. I don't know if it is. It doesn't appear to be, so that's interesting. Where is the flaps lever in this thing? It is here. Oh no, that did work. Okay, never mind. Also, why is the flaps lever is like a handbrake? That's cool. That is cool. The flight control sticks in this aircraft, questionable. Whoever designed the shape of those should potentially go back to the drawing board and reconsider their design language on that one, possibly. Yeah, exactly. There you go. There you go. Just there you go. Yeah, all Aussie adventures. You can. We'll refer to you as Russell Coit from now on if you'd like adventure bush flyers. Yeah, a Piper PA-28 moment. That's exactly right. The handbrake flap thingamajig. That is exactly right. It's so natural. I mean, look, for some of us, absolutely, William. For others for others of us. That still doesn't really make sense. For others? I don't need the of us, do I, really? You know, they don't have that thing down there that makes it feel natural, I guess is what I'm trying to get at. Actually, I don't know why I'm going to go ahead and set the autopilot. This is a stream that I wouldn't usually use autopilot on, so I feel like even though I have an aircraft who can do it, that can do it rather, I might avoid the AP on this one. I English speak good. Sure. That actually sounds like a sentence I may have constructed. So maybe I do English speak good. I can't quite get the view correct in this thing. If you're wondering why I keep moving the camera, it's a little yeah.
You know what Daddy likes.
Jesus fucking Christ. That was questionable. Hello, Zach. How you going, mate? Welcome to the stream. I knew it was you. If it's you know, because Zach's all about Daddy and D's nuts. And when I say D's nuts, I don't mean mine. And also when I say Daddy, I don't mean me. You know what? Let's just forget that I said that sentence, and we'll you know, g'day, ladies and gentlemen. We'll just restart the whole damn stream. Right. So we have too much wind to probably even operate out of Asyut today. I will be honest with you. So our active runway is runway 31, and we have 20 knots of wind. So yeah, just a little bit blowy. But with, oh, hang on, I'll turn the parking brakes off, but all I did was put them on. Oh no, hang on, they were, you know. Yep, I know what I'm doing. I promise, I know what I'm doing. 100%. Don't ask questions. It's all good. Just forget what you see, and only take notice of things that I tell you to take notice of. That sounds like North Korea. Am I allowed to say that on stream? I'm not going to get missiles launched at my house or something? I don't know. Is that appropriate for YouTube? I guess I'm going to find out soon, aren't I? Zach said, whoa, okay. Little tip, don't try and read the chat when taxiing. It's, you know, a bit like texting and driving. Don't text and taxi. He says as he goes to read the chat whilst he's taxiing. I'm still learning to drive without assists, and I'm getting better and better. I'm assuming you're talking about in Assetto Corsa, Zach. Yes, well, you know, as they say in this world, Zach, practice makes perfect. So keep practicing, and one day you might be perfect. I don't know. If this is an Assetto Corsa, by the way, that's a disclaimer. I want to, you know, you'll be perfect at Assetto Corsa, not necessarily just perfect in general at life. It's gonna be a mission for me to try and turn the microphone on and off throughout the stream if I do need to cough, because I don't feel like being held liable for hearing loss if I can avoid it. Mitty says we live outside North Korea's missile range, I think. Yeah, but I mean, if Kim sees me say stuff that I say, you know, there's every chance that he might try something. Who knows? I don't know. It was, seemed like the right thing to say at the time. That's the excuse I'm going to use. Oh, so because I also had I had chili, so I had baked eggs like shakshuka for dinner, and I put chili sauce in it, and of course, when you have blocked sinuses and you apply chili to that, they tend to run. Now, I'm not a fast runner, so I haven't actually been able to catch up to them yet and sort them out. I can read this later, says Zach. I don't want to read this later. I want to read it now. I like a challenge. I like to be able to do 500 things at once and fail at every single one. It's entertaining for me. It's entertaining for you. I also have to wonder why did the sim put Tutti at the other end of the runway? Obviously, Tutti, the sim doesn't like you. It wants you to have a 20-knot tailwind on takeoff, which I guess is not really a problem when you're in the Pivy, because that thing will literally take off of a $2 Australian $2 coin. But you know, hashtag realism, which probably seems hypocritical for me to be saying hashtag realism, because it's not really something that we tend to do on the channel. Right, so at the moment, obviously there's not much to see around us because we are a little bit off of the Nile River for obvious reasons. You don't tend to be able to put an airport in the water unless it's a boat airport, flying airport. Oh, that's a new concept that they might be able to come up with. If anybody's going to come up with that one, I put money on the UAE. They start putting elevated airports. But at the moment, obviously, all you can see is desert, 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 desert. Unfortunately, we can't just see desert, 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 and desert. That would be much more delicious on the taste buds. Anyway, Twitty says, I am right behind you. Oh, okay. Maybe the sim didn't put you where I thought it put you. It looks like my sim's lying to me, Twitty. I obviously don't have a rear view mirror or reverse camera, so I can't check. Xenon says, has anyone lost ATC voices? Xenon, I haven't, mainly because I don't bother with the standard ATC within the sim. Somebody else might be able to sort your question. The only voice that I'm on the verge of losing is my own. Bit like Jacko, actually. When he posted that, I was quite croaky, and I was like, oh, Jesus, am I going to end up in the same position as Jacko? But I had a beer, I had some dinner, I had a little bit of water, a little bit of hot liquids. Whoa, okay. This thing really likes to dive in when you turn. First it just does nothing, and then it's just like, oh, you wanted to go right. Let me do that for you. I'll give you all of the right, every single little bit. Too much, in fact. I do hope Dave is going to be feeling better, though. Yeah, if you are out there, Dave, listening, watching, whatever, you know, maybe you see this in replay, or you get it passed on to you from somebody who, you know, regulars your streams as well. I do hope you do feel better, mate. God, anybody would think that I've had 500 beers the way I'm taxiing this thing. If there was a police breath test bus anywhere here, you know, they'd be like, "Excuse me, sir, pull over." Which, you know, is difficult to ask an aircraft to pull over, because if they hit the accelerator, they actually leave the ground. Wow, all over the shot. Look at that. Steve's here, and he says, go the Pippi. It's an awesome little plane. G'day, everyone. It is an awesome little plane. It's being used because my other one got broken by the Canadian World Update, because it's a freeware throw together job. It's actually quite a good freeware throw together job. I shouldn't be so harsh on it. But that's why we're in. Whoa, okay. Well, if you want to know what sort of crosswind and wind we have, there's a bit of a demonstration for you. It just about flipped us on our roof. So is it safe to fly the Pivy today? Probably not. Are we going to fly the Pivy today? Absolutely we are. Pivy, whatever. Same, you know, it's, I understood what he meant, MIDI. And that's all that matters, really, you know. Where am I driving to? A little place called the Runway, Xenon, is where I'm driving to. You may or may not have heard it, be familiar with it, etc. But yeah, that's where our destination was. So once we do get to the end of the runway here, we are going to make a right-hand turn towards the Nile, and then obviously figure out how to get this thing relatively stable. Because I don't think I've actually flown this in a stream before. Sorry, I just got an itchy back. Not an itchy knee, not 1-2 in Japanese, an itchy back. Yeah, I haven't flown this in a stream before, and I most definitely can confirm that I've never flown this without autopilot before. So everybody's going to learn new things in this stream. Well, when I say everybody, I mean me. Well, you others may also be learning new aircraft or something in this stream. I honestly don't know. Right, so first thing I need to do is bring the flaps in, which is of course going to cause us to nose down. And then I need to bring some power out. Make sure that we are in the green arc. And then, is there an RPM thing in this thing as well? Yes, there is. Beautiful, that's what we want. Now we just need to balance the trim. So just give me a moment because I'm using a joystick for this. So balancing trim is a PRICK. Steve says the Pivy is like meeting a new date. You've got to get to know them to handle it right. Right. Okay, fair enough, Steve. Fair enough. Bloody hell. God, if anybody wandered into this stream, they probably think I've got COVID or something. Like, let's not go down that path, shall we? Where I get worked up about how much I've already had it and all that. It's not worth doing it for the 85th time. Right, so I absolutely love the fact that when you're in the desert here in Egypt and stuff, I mean, we are literally in the middle of nowhere right now. We've got this massive roundabout and this massive highway just chilling in the middle of the desert. I always find that, wow, okay, so this wind is going to be the death of me. And actually, maybe legitimately the death of me if I can't keep flying in a straight line, and we end up hitting the ground. But that's all right. It just means I need to be able to multitask and do 400 things at once, which, as a male, is really difficult to achieve. Hey, we've already been met by our friends over at the adult dating site, YouTube's best adult dating site. Let's report that. So one interesting thing that I discovered when I was looking through my numbers for recent streams. So that best adult dating site bot, not only does it come into your chat and just drop emojis and stuff, trying to promote its scammy adult site link, it also comes in and dislikes your stream. How do I know this? Because every time that the bot pops into the chat, not only do I hide it on the channel, I also report it to YouTube. And I've been finishing my most recent streams with 3, 4, 5 dislikes, and I'm sort of like, what the? That's weird. What's going on? And then waking up the next day to messages from YouTube in my email account going, thank you very much for your report on this particular channel. The channel has been deleted, etc., etc. Then I go back and I look at my numbers, and all the dislikes have disappeared. So, interesting. It doesn't just come and promote its shitty channel, it also comes in and just dislikes your video for some good measure. So, a wonderful, wonderful bot. The reason I'm telling you this is because anybody else out there who does currently stream and maybe, or somebody who's thinking about starting streaming, if that's something that might dishearten you or whatever, I know early on in my content creation, having random dislikes from people who didn't even sort of in the chat did dishearten me slightly. Now it doesn't. But yeah, that's just an interesting piece of information I thought that everybody would like to know. So, if you are modding, obviously I'm modding, the quicker that we can get rid of it and delete that particular channel, the better, I guess. So, we're just trying to figure out where so I need to sort of keep going towards the right. make sure that I'm trying to head towards the Nile, but obviously not trying to add super long extra distance to our flight this evening. But wow, the wind is pretty intense right now. As you can see, we're getting all sorts of buffeting. So we do have Calling Pigeon, we have Tutti, we have William, and we have Adventure Bushflyers joining us on this evening's stream. That's a much better view, actually, what we're currently looking at. It probably does, Midi. Yeah, it probably does. Because, like with most artificial intelligence these days, it looks for certain keywords and stuff like that. So I probably should stop mentioning the fact when it comes in, but it's it's been doing it so much recently that it's very hard to not mention the fact that it's coming in. Yeah. Yeah, so the permanent chat thing, it's not actually a permanent chat. All that is a feed of the various chats, and that's because when I was streaming across all the platforms, it's very, very difficult to get Streamlabs chatbot to chat to all the platforms all at once and show the chat. So the easiest way to get around it was to have the chat in the corner, and people could see comments from the other sites that I was streaming to from the other viewers. Unfortunately, when I remove chat or people in the chat or whatever, it doesn't get removed from there, which is a bit of, it's a little annoying, but it's also understandable. You can understand why it doesn't. William is saying, if I go up and down, don't worry, I haven't been drinking, just trying to get a handle on how the 2008 autopilot works in version 1.2. So, William, have you got that, have you got the, where are you? I saw you before. Where'd you go? There you are. Have you got the modified 208 that they've recently done that sort of makes it a little bit more 208? I guess is probably the best way to say it. I think there's another. Have they done the 172 as well? I know they've worked on a few aircraft, but the 208 is sort of their like their prized possession kind of thing. The steam gauge version. Yeah. Why are we in such a upwards? Let's trim it forward a little bit more. That's interesting. It'll be related to the wind, but that's all good. Steam overhaul. Yeah, I knew it was something to do with bringing back old school flying to those particular aircraft, because of course the steam gauge version of the 208, does it exist in the sim? I don't think it exists in this sim. It was in FSX. The same with the King Air. So of course a lot of people have been sort of like, hey, there's those of us who still really like steam gauge, so I'm really glad that somebody's come to the party for that. Right, so here, as you can see, not very far from Asyut, we're actually going to be crossing from the desert to the non-desert. That is the technical term, the non-desert. At least that's what I'm going to tell myself, because that's the word that I want to use right now. And then not too much further up, we should be heading towards the Nile River. You can see on the left side there, that is actually the city of Asyut. And what we're actually doing today is we're going down to Luxor, which is one of the other major cities here on the Nile River. There's obviously quite a few, because that is the source of life and the universe as we know it here within Egypt. I think Asyut. So we've been we took off from Alexandria. We've been through Cairo. We've been through. There was somewhere else in there as well that was a major city, and then of course we're heading down to Luxor, which is also a major city. Oh, right, I've already read that, William. I was about to read your comment out there again, but no, we've already been over that one. It's always it always amazes me how the desert just ends and the farming and all that just starts, and then you've got this major city that is literally backing onto, you know, this huge desert that has very little life in it. So according to little Nav Map, there's a few supermarkets down below us. Now, obviously, probably not going to be able to see those, unfortunately. But they exist. Let's see if we can get a little bit more of a view on a suit there. We can. It's I mean, it's not really anything crazy to look at. It is just a conglomeration of buildings, which is what the city is. But look at the turbulence on the aircraft and the wind on the aircraft. We are twerking. We could almost put ourselves on TikTok and go viral with this sort of twerking that we're currently doing. I'll be completely honest right now, ladies and gentlemen. I am potentially going to regret speaking on this stream because I can already feel my throat's getting sore from it. It's all right. We'll push through. That's what lozenges and all that are designed for. So to take a sip of water, more than a sip maybe. That's also a lot better. So it could have just been a case of I actually needed to drink water, which I hadn't finished drinking the water before I started to speak. So I then proceeded to suck half the water into my lungs, which, you know, I'm no medical expert, and you guys probably aren't either, but I think we're knowledgeable enough to know that water doesn't actually belong in the lungs, even though it does have oxygen content in it. Drink hot water sounds disgusting. Xenon, it could have just been a case of I actually needed to just have a drink of water. It has been a couple of hours since I had water because I've been on the beers, so it could just simply be that, because it's disappeared now that I've had that drink. So I guess I'll find out tomorrow morning. That's when I'll know the most. But it's not a problem. It's not a problem, honestly, because if it's anything like it has been previously, it lasts for about 10 minutes in the morning, and then you have a hot coffee and it's all gone. Gowan says good morning / evening. G'day, Gowan, mate. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing really, really well. I don't know, but your trading stream earlier today, very, very entertaining. Obviously, I was only able to be there for about 40 minutes or so, but wonderful, I must say. Xenon says, I'm a medical expert. Really? Like, legitimately? You're a medical expert? Because, like, I've got this rash. No, I'm kidding. I won't even try that during a stream. Yeah, as Garland says, just don't ask him to bend over and cough. Xenon says he's a Mongolian doctor. see. Well, that's I don't have a witty comeback for that one, Xenon, sorry. William says, I don't know how accurate this area is, but it looks nice to me. William, because it's still in the highly populated part of the Nile River, because we're still in Egypt, we're heading down to Luxor, which is one of the biggest cities in Egypt. I'm inclined to say that it probably is quite accurate. And I agree with you, it's also very nice. It'll be interesting to see what it looks like as we head down into places like Sudan and all that, where the big maps may not be as good. Calling Pigeon is definitely flying low, so low that I think he's actually put it down on the Nile River. William says, I'd like to see a Northern Africa world update. I think most people, William, would just like to see not even necessarily a African world update, but just a general improvement of some of the parts of certain countries within Africa, because there is some, there's some parts, especially in the more remote parts of Africa, in the more underpopulated countries, Chad, Niger, Mali, etc. There really isn't much mapping to speak of other than the major city. So it's a little bit, shit to look at, unfortunately. Mitty says, not asking, but will there ever be a surprise stream where we land in the Hud Nile? In the Hud Nile? In the water, I don't know, because I set this particular series up before I did float planes on the Mekong. But if enough people are keen on the idea, Mitty, I'm more than happy to consider having a second series with float planes as well, if that's something that people would be interested in. I'm more than happy to do something like that. Absolutely. Tootie says he has not flown here since the Oz Flight Simmer stream last year. I must have missed the Oz Flight Simmer stream here last year. Tootie? The Southern Mediterranean might have. Yeah, so I think you might be correct, William. At the same time, where I've flown so far in Northern Africa / the South Mediterranean, so that would be obviously Alexandria in Egypt, the top of Tunisia, the top of Libya, and a little bit of Morocco. It already looks really good in that part of the world, so there may not be any better mapping available for it. I'm not 100% sure. Of course, I'm not a developer. I'm not the right person to ask, but I will obviously try to answer questions as best as I can. I'm not going to sit here and bullshit, Calling Pigeon, turn off the engine. Is that how? That's how he stops a float plane. Calling Pigeon, I don't think there is a way to stop a float plane, honestly, mate. I think it's just a case of put it down and hope and pray and steer, and when you stop, you stop. I mean, I don't think that's actually the way that they do it in real life somehow. Reverse thrust? Has it got reverse thrust? I don't know. Minnie says, a floaty Kodiak, Beaver, maybe even a Mallard. Any of those is really an option. Mitty, out of those, if we were going to turn this stream into a float plane stream, I would probably take the Kodiak or the PC6 because I am already taking the 172 on the Mekong. But I might throw that actually up in the Discord as a question / a poll. Hey, what would people like to see in the NILE stream? Do they want the ability for us to all land on water, etc.? And we'll go from there. Because obviously I'm very big into community feedback and ideas and stuff like that. Which does actually bring me to another topic. Well, similar. It's an on-topic topic, but an off-topic topic, if that makes sense. It's double negative, or double entendre, or whatever the hell they call it. I don't even think that's a double entendre, actually. But what am I trying to say? Midnight Zulu time on the 7th of October. So midnight Zulu time on the 7th of October. If you are interested in jumping in the sim and you do have some bush planes, stole planes, for example, the Kit Fox, the Zenith CH701, etc., and you are free at midnight Zulu, please feel free to jump into Discord. We're going to be heading into the sim to do some interesting flying. I'm going to be doing some filming, we'll chat, etc. And we're going to be just, making some video content and stuff for the channel, but obviously I want to involve you wonderful people in as much video content as I possibly can. So, if you are available, I would absolutely love to see you there in the chat with bells on, with your aircraft ready to go. And we're going to be doing some fun and interesting and challenging tasks with those aircraft. Things that those aircraft, or no aircraft really, should be trying to do, but that's what we're going to try and do with them. It's just making sure that I'm getting the right viewpoints on this particular stream, because it just changes so much. First the left's got a wonderful view, then the right hand side does, then it's back to the left, back to the right. It's almost like it's a political debate, except it's a flight in Egypt. Gowan says, that hurt my head. I'm assuming he's referring to my double negative, double that, whatever the hell it was before. I won't subject him to listening to that for a second time. I won't subject anyone to listening to that for a second time. Garwin hopes to make it, so Garwin knows what we're doing. I think he's the only... Calling Pigeon might also know what we're doing. I honestly can't remember. Him and I speak about so many things. But yeah, Garwin definitely knows what we're getting up to tomorrow. It is partially his suggestion, so I've got to give him a little bit of credit for that one. And of course, I'd be very disappointed if he didn't make it. Well, actually, I wouldn't be disappointed. I'd be understanding, but you know what I mean. He's trying to find the date / time. Right now, it is 8:54 p.m. on the 6th of October, 2022, Garwin. You are most welcome. I'm at your service. I must say, the views get better the further south we go. That's one thing I can definitely confidently say. Once we left Cairo, it was a little average for a while, but now it's really nice what we get to fly over here. For the flight, okay. So that should be, so for you, Garwin, that should be 8 p.m. on the 6th of October, I think. I think that will be I think 8 p.m. for you. If you, obviously we are going to be doing a few various little objectives in these aircraft, so if you don't make it to one of them, I'm sure you can make it to another one of the little objectives that we're doing. We're probably going to be filming for, I'd say, 2 hours or so, hour and a half, 2 hours, something like that. About half the length of a stream, to give you a general idea. And obviously you don't need to be there for the whole time. Garland says, well damn, I'll be streaming tonight at 7:30. How long did you stream, Garwin? Because I am a little flexible on my timing. I can bring it slightly earlier or I can go slightly later. William says, I don't know if these are sand dunes or windswept rocks, but they are cool. I am west of the Nile. Yeah, I can see you over there, William. I would say it's probably being the desert. I can't remember the name of the desert. I just know it's a desert. I was trying to remember the name, but it's probably a combination of both, I would say. Yeah, guys, I'm just gonna take like a minute or two to just try and make my voice sound a little bit more, you know, human, less underwater. So just give me a moment here. Obviously I am not on autopilot, so I won't be very long. But yeah, back in a moment. Alright, I'm back. I've got a little bit more oomph to the voice now, which should hopefully get us through the next hour or so of the stream. Hopefully, in a little bit more of a, you know, I don't know what that means, but it means something. But I'm to come back to what William was saying before. He is not wrong. It is a very nice part of the world right now that we are flying over. And as I was saying earlier on, it's just getting better the further south we go. The desert's becoming more and more prominent, though, I must say. It's especially on the left side anyway. It's certainly starting to encroach on our flight path. It's a problem. I guess the only problem is, though, usually I'm pretty good on these streams at pronouncing the names of the various cities and stuff that we may see along the way. turns out I'm not fluent in Egyptian Arabic. So it's a little more difficult in this one. So, I mean, I'm sure it'll be absolutely hilarious for you guys, the viewers, to try and watch me pronounce some of these names. For example, Alraya Naya Balhaga. Say that fast 10 times and you'll get your tongue twisted. I mean, I can barely construct basic English sentences without creating word salads. The other thing that I find incredibly interesting about the Nile River and that I didn't know is the fact that there is a lot of islands in the middle that I'm assuming you don't appear to be able to access by a bridge because we can't see any bridges, so I'm assuming they are only accessible by boat. Now, it's not what I'd call a long boat trip in any way, shape or form. It's, you could almost jump it. If you had enough of a leap on you. If you're a long jumper, this might be a good part of the world to train in. If you fail, you get wet. But this is very much a part of the world that I would like to come back to once I do have access to VR. That would be pretty bloody awesome, I must say. Mitty says these islands are formed because the river keeps moving, snaking around, and then linking with another part of the river. Yeah, exactly right. I personally, Mitty, I assumed that they would have some sort of bridge access to the mainland. Can you refer to it as the mainland? I mean, technically it is, but they don't appear to, and I'm guessing that's just because. The sheer cost of having that many bridges would probably put the Egyptian economy in some sort of ruin, so it's probably a lot cheaper to just have boats. Really? William says, I'm very surprised that there are hills on either side of the Nile Valley, several hundred feet high. Actually, William, now that you mention it, I'm not surprised, but like what you just said, I pictured it as a much slower incline. So, yeah. I agree with you. 100%. Sorry, I was just a message popped up on my phone. And I was half reading it whilst I was speaking, which was a bad idea. I'm surprised at the rate that it goes up as well, but I personally think it just adds to the experience. I mean, realistically, think about living here. You've got this beautiful river, beautiful greenery, and then on your doorstep you have these incredible sand and rock mountain formations. I mean, if this was a major city, around the world based here, you'd be paying millions of dollars for apartments to, look at this. But because it's in the middle of nowhere, I'm sure these people are probably, living quite cheaply. 2 seconds. I do actually just need to give my phone attention for 2 seconds. It was actually something important, which is why I was half reading. So I will be back again, guys. Hopefully that will be the last disruption here within the stream. Appreciate your patience.
Nobody has to know nothing about us. The pleasures I will make you discover. I'll make you feel like
Alright, cool. Thank you guys, really appreciate your patience on that one. Glad I came back when I did because I was mighty close to that cliff there, and that would have been an interesting scenario to come back and see. So what did I miss whilst I was gone? I've got Zenon saying a valley should give you a clue. Yeah, probably should, but I missed that particular piece of information, didn't I? Or I forgot about that particular piece of information. That's probably a better way of putting it. So right there off to our right-hand side. In fact, let's make a tight right-hander here and head back to the Nile, because I want to get a bit of a view of the city of Sohag here, which is another one of the major cities here in Egypt along the Nile River. Imagination can be good and bad. Oh boy, did you hit the nail on the head there, Zenon. Yes, imagination can be good and bad. I won't go into details of what I consider good imagination and bad imagination. There's many things that one can imagine, if you get my drift. I must say, one thing, if there's one thing that I could improve about the general area of where we are right now, it's the weather. And I don't mean, you know, that it's beautiful and clear and all of the things that you want for a lovely scenic flight. But this wind is driving me insane. Gowan said, it's probably best that we don't have access to your mind. Look, Garwin, I agree so much. Yeah. Mainly because I don't want you guys to see or have a better understanding of why I am as crazy as I am. I like to keep things, you know, like to keep you guessing, like to keep things a secret, you know. Not I won't keep going down that path. I feel like it's going to be a case of I may as well go grab the shovel and start digging in the backyard. Now, I was going to say, ooh, a bridge, let's fly under, but it's basically in the water, that bridge. So, and I mean, the vehicles are driving across the top of the water on that bridge as well right at the moment. Oh my god, who's in the chat? Ladies and gentlemen, we have been joined by a, well, many refer to him as an online celebrity. You may or may not know him from OnlyFans. He's got his foot channel. over there on OnlyFans. Make sure you do go and subscribe and show the man some love. But we do have Mr. Aaron B, aka the man with the jam in the toes, which sounds disgusting, and it is, but I've heard that it's been doing quite well in sales at supermarkets on the shelves. How you going, Aaron, mate? Welcome to the stream. God, I make up some fucking bullshit, don't I? Guys, don't stress. This bloke is not on OnlyFans and he doesn't have a foot channel. At least that we know of anyway. Maybe he has a private one. Who knows? Let the toe jam puns begin. That's about all I've got, really, Aaron. Just about the fact that, yeah, you know. Yeah, literally, that's all I've got. Sorry. I haven't come prepared because obviously it's been a long time since I've seen you in a stream, and you probably think it's been a long time since I've been streaming, and you'd be right. But I have been streaming relatively regularly now for about 2-3 weeks, something like that. Somebody, maybe, is it a month? It might be close to a month already that I've been streaming relatively regularly. Wow. Actually, it must be. It has to be. Because we're in early October and I started early September once I got back from... Wow, that time has just flown past. Unintended. Literally flown past. You are very disappointed to find out the OnlyFans is not real, Garland? Yeah, I know. Sorry. I just have to drop the occasional bombshell in the streams, you know? Aaron is saying he does have an OnlyFans page. Only Shane knows the address. Ah, right. Well, can I have the address? Only kidding, Aaron. I do not want to see your various feet pics. You can, you and Shane can have your own special time on that one. 2 seconds. It's water time. I don't know why I did that. Really bad hand movements on stream, but I would never chat to you again if I see it. What makes you think I'm going to chat to you again anyway? You're assuming things, Aaron. You're assuming things. That would be pretty rough though. Like, you come into the stream, I say 4 or 5 things to you, and then just ignore you for the rest of the stream. That would be, yeah, A, really, really bad and rude on my behalf, and B, I don't actually think I'm capable of doing that because I love to chat with everyone so much within the chat that trying to ignore somebody would just drive my brain crazy. So I'll choose to not do that. But Aaron, it has been a while since we've had you in the streams. I hope you are doing really fantastically. I love the fact that you called me a young man, especially seeing as I am literally counting down the days to 30, so I no longer feel like, well, not counting down the days, but, you know, I am past the halfway point of being 29, and therefore I'm very, very aware of the fact that the next milestone is about to arrive. And yes, I know everyone's going to get in the chat now and be like, 30? So young. Yes, I understand. But you've got to remember, I only have the perspective on life and how old I feel based on being 29. I'm sure the day that I turn 40 or 50, I'll be like, remember when I used to talk about turning 30? You know, 100% it will be. But right now, this is the only evidence? No, that's not the word I'm looking for. This is the only experience that I have. You have a kid my age, I'm very much a young man. Yeah, no, I appreciate it, Aaron, I really do. I guess the feeling of feeling maybe slightly older than what I actually am as well is because in my line of work, especially where I currently reside, there isn't a huge number of old chefs. Huge number of old chefs and front of house staff. So most places that I work at, I tend to be the old one. Even though I'm only 29 going on 30, like right now, the only person who's older than me where I work is the owner. Everybody else is 18, 19, 20, 17, 16. So, as you can imagine, I feel quite old in that place when the staff are 10 plus years younger than I am. I guess you could almost say I'm getting a dose of what you guys probably feel like when you're in myself and Dave's and Wes's streams. Which again is not a problem, but it's just an observation. Just a youngster? Yeah, guys, I keep flooding me with the young person, comments. I'm loving this. I promise my head won't get too big. Am I only 30? Yes, Zenon. Yes, Zenon. Not even. It's just easier to tell people that you're 30 when you're like 3 or 4 months away from being there. Speak of the devil, he has just arrived in the chat. Mr. Leaded Rapier 709. Some of you may know him as Wes. Others may know him as Wally. Some may know him from his book, Where's Wally? So he says, you're still young, not old. To spin you out, I've been alive over 35 years, but I've been alive in 5 decades. A decade is 10 years. Really? A decade is 10 years? You don't say. Have you got any other awesome pieces of information there for us, Wes? Like a century is 100 years. Born in the 80s, alive for the 90s, noughties, 10s and 20s, and g'day. G'day! How you going, mate? Welcome to the stream. Like yourself, Wes, because you're also a millennial, and this is why we were called millennials, I too, even though I'm only 29, have been alive for 4 decades. 90s, noughties, 10s, 20s. Every single millennial is in the same boat. They have been alive for a decade longer than their age may suggest. Tootie, some may know Wes. Oh, you deleted it before I could finish reading it because there was probably a misspelling mistake. Well, that actually probably worked. There was a spelling mistake. Trenton, g'day, welcome. How are you? It's awesome to see you in the stream. But welcome, Trenton. It's alright, Tootie. I'm not going to make you type away like an absolute madman to try and get your message back. I'll read it when it's when you've sorted out your grammar and punctuation. Yeah, so we're going to venture in again from the NILE slightly, because, let's try that again, because, not cause, let's not use the Australian slang on stream, because the wonderful man, Calling Pigeon himself, has put in some waypoints, and obviously we don't want to miss any of those. That would be rather disappointing. Raj, welcome to the stream, mate. Hope you are well. Welcome. G'day. Tootie says, some may know Wes from his autobiography, How to Be a Drifter, in the DC6. Got to remember, he's got to put that at the end, because that really grabs everyone's attention in the bookstore. Tootie, there's browsing through the car section, etc. Jeremy Clarkson, James May, Richard Hammond, Chris Harris, etc. And then it's like, Wes, How to Be a Drifter in the DC6. No, that's your next book, Wes. Is How to Glide the 146. Well, Wes, you know what? Next gliding stream or next gliding thing that we do. I say next. We haven't even done one yet, so that's a bit of a contradiction in terms. But I want you to bring a 146 as the tow plane to a gliding stream. I promise you I'm all good. It may not look like it on stream, but I promise you I'm all good. Raj says he has already subscribed, liked and shared. Raj, we have a special word for people like you here in this community. And you're known as legends. Or legends of the highest regard. Or, as some Australians might say, a flipping legend. I was kidding, Wes, because the glider can't do any more than about 80 or 90 knots when it's under tow. And I know for a fact that's not fast enough for the 146 to take off, so it's going to be not really going to be an ideal tow plane, unless we want to tear the wings off the gliders, in which case it's a great tow plane. Although if somebody had damage turned off in the sim, could we use the Dark Star as a tow plane for the gliders? I feel like that's something I'd just like to see try and occur. Can you hook a tow plane up to the Dark Star? Garwin, if you're listening, maybe that's our next tow plane video. You tried to you tried to get a tow from an F14 and it failed miserably. Okay, never mind. Scrap that idea. So maybe we can try a passenger commercial jet, Garwin, but not a fast jet. So maybe a bit of a rain check on that 146 idea, Wes. Maybe we can make that happen. Maybe we can make that happen. Garwin says I will try anything once. Okay, little bit of context there, please, Garwin, please. There's too many questions to ask you. Wes is the Eddie the Eagle of Microsoft Flight Simulator. Actually, that's really, yes. I 100% agree. He really is, isn't he? It's almost, Wes, you almost need to rename your channel Wesy the Eagle. Or Weddy the Eagle. Yeah, that's just whatever you do, don't do that. Yeah, there we go. Garwin, have you landed in the Lukla parking lot yet? Should try that today in VR. Absolutely, absolutely you should, Garwin. I feel like in VR as well, you've got a really good chance of succeeding, mate. Really good chance. I feel like you just, record just in case. Just in case, Raj says, Sir, I'm from India. My friend tell me to sub to just some Aussie, but I've seen some videos. Very nice, big fan. Raj, thank you so much. That's really, really awesome. I appreciate that a lot. You are a wonderful man, and thank you very much for the support. Yeah, exactly, Garwood. Make sure that you get that 45 minutes of starting soon so that everyone knows that you are in fact starting soon. And then what you do is you upload that to YouTube and see how many views you get. Then you can see what your view duration is. See how many people can actually suck it into waiting for like more than a couple of minutes. I mean, it's probably not going to then claim you did it. Oh, that's another option, I guess, you know. Raj, mate, if you do have the sim, we would love to have you come and join us for the rest of the flight. Otherwise, feel free to just hang out and chat, get to know all the wonderful community members and vice versa. Now, I was going to say I appear to have missed something, but I haven't. There was a waypoint here, and that waypoint has disappeared. So, according to Little Nav Map, I should be right over Abydos right now, but the waypoint has disappeared. Or the POI, which is weird. Any ideas of what might have happened there, Calling Pigeon? Is it on my end? It might be on my end. Most of the community members are wonderful. I absolutely agree, William. In fact, I would go as far to say that the smaller community that we have here, everybody's wonderful. Absolutely everybody is wonderful. Just because it is a smaller community, we haven't had that opportunity to, expand to the point where maybe some individuals who are maybe not so wonderful have made their way in. Yeah, like, it's weird, Pigeon, because, or Calling Pigeon should I say, because the waypoint just sort of disappeared when I was supposed to be on it, and then I couldn't see what I was meant to be looking for. Again, as I said, it's probably on my end, and I'm not 100% concentrating on the flying as well, because I'm obviously trying to balance hand flying and the chat, and the fact that my voice keeps disappearing every 2.4 seconds. Garwin, yeah, I can see how you got to that result, Garwin. Anyway, Calling Pigeon, it's not a problem. It's all good. It was just more of an observation from me. Like, pretty sure there was a waypoint there. It's all right. I'll make sure I absolutely nail waypoint 2 here, which is actually back in the Nile River. So I'm gonna make a lefty here and head back to the Nile River. What happens when I get 1 million subs? Raj, I have no idea. The first goal is 500. Once we reach 500, then we'll focus on 1,000 and 10,000 and etc. from there. If I ever make it to 1 million subs, or close to 1 million subs, we'll figure it out at that point. But I feel like that's a long way away. This one was pretty small and you had to be pretty low. Okay, cool. All good. As I said, it's not a problem. It was more just an observation of, I looked back at my screen and went, huh? That's all. come up? Come on. This little shit bag in my hands proceeded to have a tug of war today with Bella with some bed sheets. So now the backyard looks like it's been snowing because there's just bits of bed sheet and pillow fluff all over the backyard. Isn't that right, Star? Hey? You and Bella had a little bit of tug of war fun. And now my housemate doesn't have any bed sheets or pillows, so that's good. Now, you're in front of the microphone here, Star. Is there anything you'd like to say? Just lick the microphone, that's all you'd like to say? Okay. God, get your feet out of my... That really hurts. Can you move your leg? Ow. Ow. That's better. Thank you for that. Alright. I'll put you down. All good. I just figured I'd bring you up and out you on stream for being a little shit. This wind, I swear. Although if I do swear into the wind right now, my voice is probably going to get travelled to another city because it's so strong. Tootie says, then there was the time that Wes was trying to take off in a fully laden DC-6 on a really short runway. Or, Tootie, the time that... what city was it? La Paz in Bolivia? Where Wes took tried to get a fully loaded DC-6 off that runway because it's like 10,000 feet above sea level. Yeah. Hey, Lena's here. She says, Wolf. Yeah, exactly. When I put her in front of the microphone, that's when I want her to just be like, have a little bark. Not, when I'm trying to do things and she's just like, woof, 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 woof. Gowan says, I hacked my flight plan down to about 1.5 hours. Gowan, mate, you did not have to do that. You could have, you said it would take about, I don't know if I responded to your comment about it, but you said that your stream takes 1.5 to 2 hours. I have no problem whatsoever in starting to film at like 12:30 my time as opposed to 11 a.m. my time, and holding off on the little idea that you and I had on your stream until you make it in there. I have no problem at all in doing that. Yeah, that's how I look on a DJ set. Not that I've ever been on a DJ set. Ooh, Garland's flying in Guyana. Yeah, nice part of the world. 2 seconds, guys. I'm going to A, let Doggo out. I'm assuming she probably needs to pee or something. And B, I've got to turn a fan on in here before I actually start to melt into my chair. 2 seconds. Tell it's been warm today. Warm. Yeah, you did, Wes. It took you a few goes, but I know you did that La Paz one eventually. I think that's the one that Tutti and myself were talking about. We're just referring to it in different ways. Garland says, have you seen all the fake DJs on YouTube? These hot girls pressing random buttons. I have not, Garland, and judging by that review that you've just given, I'm also not interested in seeing these DJs. Oh, I can believe it. I can believe it going. It's the new hot tub and pool streams. Lena says, I wonder if DJs at clubs put on epidemic sound songs like this one, how would the crowd react? If it's, I don't know, this is probably not the best, track, Lena, to get, but there's a few tracks on Epidemic Sound that if a DJ put it on at the club, I wouldn't think twice, and I'd just be like, oh yeah, this is mad. Not that I really go to the club anymore. So we go again down to the whole I'm so old thing, and everybody goes, no you're not. I'm a little old for clubbing. Yeah, exactly right, Garwin. Good crowd, good DJ. That's all you need. DJ Soda is I've got to come up with a good pun for DJ Soda. Fully loaded 146. Yeah, absolutely. In fact, yeah, of course, Wes, because we're streaming the 146 tomorrow night from Perth to Paraburdu, so you should be able to get the 146 up at Perth fully loaded, you'd think. So DJ Soda, I'm really struggling to come up with some puns for DJ Soda. Anyone got any content, suggestions? Content? I don't know if that's content. 1.7 million subscribers. Doesn't sound like a fake DJ to me. Either that or people are incredibly desperate. 7 my time, Wes. So 6:30 your time. Yeah. I think that's correct. DJ Puns, you think that I'm better at that than you are? I mean, usually I would be, Mitty, but I'm having a little bit of brain fog at the moment. You'd hire DJ Soda at your party? I mean, look, I guess with DJ Soda, if you shake him around enough, he just explodes everywhere. Yeah, it's not really quite... That's not really what I was going for. He goes pop? Because soda? Yeah, no, that's shit as well. I guess you could say that right now I'm cracking open a can of worms. But that's about all I've got in relation to puns for DJ Soda. So we might move on from that one before I... just go down such a dark pathway that, you know, whatever the hell happens at the end of dark pathways. I don't watch enough horror movies to know. Wes might be home in time. He's got to pop to the shops after work. That's alright, Wes. All good, mate. I will review the flight plan anyway, and if it is a shorter flight, I might push it out half an hour. I just tend to schedule things, as you know by now, I tend to schedule things around 7 o'clock my time when I work the next morning, just in case. It's basically more of a case of, yes, I am streaming. It's going to be around 7. It could be 7:30 or 8 o'clock, depending on how long the flight is. So once we get around this, so there's two really tight corners here And then I'm going to have one more interruption in the stream, and that interruption is going to be a trip to the pilot's room. Because otherwise we're going to have a bigger interruption in about half an hour's time, and that's going to be requiring a mop to sort out. So probably should deal with that one before we get to that point. For the comfort and safety of all the passengers, I feel like they're not going to like a pilot who pisses himself mid-flight. It's probably not the most pleasant thing to experience and endure would be the correct way to word that, Bryce. And I also want to be back in time to get us a little bit closer here to Dundera Temple, I think it is, which is 20 nautical miles. In fact, I might just try and go straight on here so that we don't waste any time, because I don't necessarily need to follow the small loop of the Nile there off to the left. So guys, this, I promise, unless the dog starts barking at somebody who's trying to break in, will be the last interruption of the stream. Back as quick as possible. Appreciate your patience. Alright. I noticed when I came back that I'd been placed into a holding pattern through no choice of my own, but I had been. William says Luxor seems to be enveloped, however you want to say that, in fog. That seems slightly weird. Mitty says cat in a box, as opposed to Jack in the Box, I guess. Or the fact that cats really love playing with box. And box is also a slang word for cat. Cat is also a slang word for... yeah, we won't finish that sentence, will we? I don't even know how far I am from Luxor, William. I'm just enjoying hand flying and cruising along here. Schrodinger's cat has one. What? A box or a something else? Anyway, Glenn, mate, welcome to the stream nonetheless. Hope you're doing really well. Wouldn't surprise me if you've been just lurking in the background, but either way, it's nice to hear from you. We still do have a little bit of flying to do if you are so inclined to jump in. I don't know how many surrounding airports there are, though. I don't think there are many, so you just probably have to jump in on top of us if you want to. Ooh. Did I just get a text message? No, we're good. Okay, all good. I thought I was getting a text or a phone call. My housemate just jumped out to run an errand, and I was going to be like, oh no, if he's calling me, it's probably like bloody run his car off the road or something. It's not something I want to be dealing with at this point in time. Anyway, that's a completely weird change of topic there. Let's head back to the topic of the Nile. As you guys can tell, I'm really I don't want to admit it, but I am really struggling here to continue to talk on this stream. But I'm also determined we've come this far, we're going to make it to the end. And then I'm going to drink a lot of hot tea. This is by far the worst I have probably felt since I've had the... thingamajiggy, whatever it is that let's refer to in the way Tootie was, the chest thingy. So it may have actually finally grabbed hold after close to a week now, but it's just been lingering. Hopefully it hasn't grabbed hold, but I'm not confident, unfortunately. So, I'm just going to have a quick look at little Nav Maps, see where we are, see what... Alright, so basically around this... So you got the left-hander, right-hander, and small left-hander, and then you can see where Calling Pigeon is. Calling Pigeon's about to do the big right-hander that takes us into Luxor. So... I reckon we've probably got, what, like 30, 40 nautical miles left, so we'll be fine. We'll make that no problem. So I've got a little bit of, this is a question I've actually been wanting to ask on streams for a while. So I am going to be moving my camera into a more central position. And at the same time I'm going to be putting like some stuff behind me, some more photos, you know, a bit more of a background scene. I've actually forgotten what I was going to ask. Give me 2 seconds. was I going to ask you guys? It really can't have been that important, can it? Because I hate when I do that. Sometimes I'll start talking about something so passionately and I get so involved in talking about the fact that I'm going to, bring up an important topic that I actually lose sight of what the important topic was. Which means it probably can't have been that important, but... Anyway, I'll come back to that when I remember what I was going to go on about, eh? This might actually be a good opportunity, should I say, for me to give the voice a rest and enjoy some music and some flying for this song. So, that's what we're going to do.
started talking, we were kids, and I knocked down all of your moments, but you did not seem to mind at all. We took our bikes to the lake after school staying.
Sorry guys, that took a little longer to sort out, because obviously I had to hit the band hammer there at the end of the song. Right, so next waypoint, Dundera Temple. As Calling Pigeon was saying, that the autogen buildings appear to have actually screwed up the look of the temple. However, the complex itself, or the largest part of the complex, looks to be alright. So we're still going to head towards that waypoint, so we can at least see the complex anyway. Mitty says Ohio. Florida. Are we just naming US states now? I wonder as an Australian if I could potentially name all US states right now without looking. That would be a good test on my geography knowledge now, wouldn't it? Locations I probably couldn't do, like where they are, but I wonder if I can test myself with something like that. Close, Mitty. What you're looking for there is Ohio gozaimasu. That's that would be what you are looking for, and I guarantee you it's not spelt like the state of Ohio. take you to Japan. You paying? Because I don't even have enough money to take myself to Japan right now.
I know where we belong. Haven't changed a bit of
I seem to know my way around the language. So, MIDI. I can do konnichiwa. I can do ohayou gozaimasu. I can do sumimasen, arigato. I can do do itashimashite. I can do oneme wa nan desu ka, which basically means what is your name, and that's it. That's about all you're gonna get. So if I take you to Japan, we're pretty screwed if we need to say anything more than hello, how are you, what's your name? William says state names and go. Oh shit, okay. Alright, so state names and go. Washington, California, Nevada, Texas, Wyoming, Alabama, New Mexico, Arizona, Florida, South Dakota, North Dakota, South Carolina, North Carolina, Wyoming. Did I already say Wyoming? If I did, I'm saying it again. Minnesota, Georgia, what's the flat one called? Kansas. I missed one between Washington and California. I'm not doing it in order, Glenn, but I probably did. Obviously, like New York, I believe is a state, like the state of New York. Don't quote me on that one. And do you guys consider Washington, D.C. as its own state? I'm not 100% sure on that one either, so I'm just going to mention that one. Obviously, Ohio. What is the other?
Welcome to All Things Scottish. Our slogan is, if it's no Scottish, it's crap!
Is that really all of them, William? I don't think that's all of them. I think I've missed a few there. But I'm pretty happy with that as an Australian, and there's 50 states to name. Hawaii! I said where Detroit is. Is that not in... Oh, Michigan. Michigan. Thank you. Michigan, and Boston is in Massachusetts? Also the one up near Russia. Oh, yeah, Alaska. Right, yeah, of course, that one. Hey, Stu is here. G'day, Stu, mate. Welcome to the stream. So Canberra in Australia is technically a state, but it's referred to as a territory, which basically means the same thing. It's just they've just got to be different there. Did you know? I did not mention Vermont, Tootie. Thank you. I did not mention Vermont. Did you know most Americans get the name of Rhode Island wrong? I may have also just got it wrong. The Jazz State and the Bourbon State. So the Jazz State is Memphis, and the Bourbon State is Kentucky. North and South Dakota, North and South Carolina have already been done. If that's what you're asking, Glenn. And Georgia and Florida and Alabama have all been done as well. Oh, it is just Rhode Island. You see, Garwin, I thought it was Rhode Island, but the way that you worded it was almost like a trick question. I was like, okay, maybe it's Rhode Island then. Did I get all the news? So I got New York. Don't think I got New Hampshire. But that's all the news, isn't it? Is New Jersey a state, is it? I wasn't aware. I thought it was just part of New York State. Ah. Oh, with the jazz state, you were going for Louisiana. I would have said the Cajun state for Louisiana. And of course, New Orleans. How the hell did I forget Louisiana? I'm disappointed in myself for that as a chef. That should have been... The states that I should have got straight away should have been Louisiana, Michigan, and... Shit, where is Chicago located? The state that Chicago's in as well. As a chef, I should have got all three of those straight away. That's alright, William. All good. Don't stress. It's worse for me, the fact that the first state I didn't name was New Orleans. Oh, sorry, Louisiana, New Orleans, which is literally like... That place is known the world over for its food. Chicago is Illinois. That's one I didn't get. The other one I also didn't get is New England. I did not get New England. Did I get the state Yale is in? Glenn, I don't know what state Yale is in. So I don't know. Memphis is not a state? Sorry, it's in Tennessee. Of course it is. Don't worry about me. New England is not a state. It's a region. Ah. No shit. There you go. The things you learn. Yale is in Connecticut. Well then, no, I did not get it. So, I missed, what? I got about 30 states. 35 states. Because I missed Connecticut, New Hampshire, Rhode Island, Vermont, and Louisiana. So that's... Oh, actually, I got more. I got close to 40. I'm pretty happy with that. Now, somebody else said name all the... yeah, Florida, Miami. Name all the... countries in the United Kingdom. So, fine. England, Northern Ireland, Scotland, Wales, Jersey, Guernsey, Isle of Man. That should be it. Denver State, Colorado. Counties, not happening. Counties is not happening. Yeah, I've done the Dakotas. Is my microphone not working or something? I've done the Dakotas twice now. The main whiskey regions in Scotland. Well, Glenn, you see, the problem is there, I've actually got to be a drinker of whiskey to have some idea. And I really don't drink much whiskey, so I'm not going to even pretend I'm an expert on that. No, Idaho. I missed New Scotland, did I, Stu? three major island areas of northwest Scotland. So, I can't remember the name, but I know there's a famous island or set of islands that's part of Scotland that is the most northern part of the UK that you can visit. But I just can't remember the name, even though I recently watched Noel Phillips fly Logan Air up there. I know one thing that you guys can most definitely test me on, though, that I will, famous last words, I'll do well in. Capital cities of countries. If you name a country, I'm pretty confident I can tell you the capital or major cities, or a few of the major cities in that country. Pretty confident is the terms. We'll do a few before this stream ends, and if you guys enjoy it and I enjoy it and you want to see more of it, we'll do it. We'll follow it up in a little bit in streams later on. The capital of Singapore, Tutti, is Singapore City. Some of the regions of Singapore, though, you've got Novena, you've got Circular Quay, you've got Boat Quay, you've got Jurong, Jurong East, Jurong West. You've got, Calling Pigeon. The capital of Burkina Faso is Ouagadougou. The capital of Sierra Leone is Freetown. Sorry about that, I just had a bug on my microphone. The capital of Eritrea is Asmara. Oh yeah, Sembawang, where you lived as a lad. Very nice. Tutti, very nice. The capital of Uzbekistan is Tashkent. Oh, come on! Tootsie. West Germany pre-Berlin Wall coming down? No idea, wasn't alive. Haven't done that sort of research. The capital of Canada is Toronto, no? No. It's, it's not Toronto. Toronto is one of the major cities, as is Vancouver, as is Montreal. Edmonton, Calgary, Manitoba. That might actually be a state. Oh, really? Cologne, Bonn was the pre-Berlin Wall. There you go. The capital of the Vatican. It's the Vatican? No, not Toronto. Is it Quebec? Quebec? I know it's like Australia. It's something weird, like that shouldn't be the capital. Yeah, Garwood, look, that's probably not going to happen, mate. Look, guys, it was a bit of a loaded question on my behalf, because, like, I can basically rattle off to you right now. Tajikistan, why am I having a mind blank on Tajikistan? The capital of Tajikistan is Dushanbe. The capital of Kyrgyzstan is Bishkek. The capital of Chad is N'Djamena. The capital of Niger is Niamey. Like, it's a loaded question. I was confident. Canada starts with an O. This should not be this hard. Yeah, I'm assuming it's some sort of dust storm or something, Garwin, that's not being quite depicted correctly in the sim. It's being done as fog. Why am I having so much trouble with Canada's capital city? Sorry guys, I'm having a complete mind blank on Canada's capital city. St. Kitts and Nevis. Ooh. You might have got one that I don't actually know right off the top of my head there, Tutti. Garwin just flew there last week. It's really not going to help me at this point because I've got mental block and brain fog. Now I won't be able to think beyond that mental block and brain fog for Canada. Fiji's capital city is Suva, but Fiji's largest city is Nadi. So after waypoint 5 here, we have... Hang on, let me just get the name up before I butcher that as well. We have the Tomb of Rasmusus, the Valley of the Kings, etc. The Mortuary Temple, the Colossi of Memnon, Luxor Temple, etc. We've got a lot of little epic waypoints on the way into Luxor here. We may need to enact God mode and remove the terrible weather if it continues. Aruba, Jamaica, ooh, I wanna take you to Bermuda. Yes, I know the capital city of Aruba is a Dutch name, and therefore I can't remember what it actually is. So you will find that those really, really, really small countries that are actually overseas territories of more major countries, I will struggle with capital cities on those. The capital city of Bolivia is not La Paz. La Paz is the largest city. The capital of Bolivia is... What just bit me on the finger? Some sort of mosquito or something, I reckon. Might be time to get one of those powerboard bug thingamajiggies again as the weather's getting warmer. Yeah, it is not La Paz. It's south of La Paz, in the mountains. Why can't I think of the name? I know where it is, I can't think of the name of it though. The Cook Islands, the capital of the Cook Islands is Rarotonga, or Rarotonga, or Avarua, depending on if you wanted it English or Maori, because I think the Cook Islands shares the Maori language with New Zealand. Thank you. Thank you, Glenn. See, I knew it was something incredibly Dutch. And then also in the Cook Islands, the other major island other than Avarua / Rarotonga is Atutaki. Yes, back to Canada and Bolivia. So, Bolivia, as I keep saying, I know it's not La Paz, I know it's south of La Paz, I know it's in the mountains, but I can't remember the goddamn name. And Canada, it starts with O. So I can remember a lot of things on the left-hand side of Canada. So, you know, you've got Vancouver, Banff, Kamloops, Kelowna, Edmonton, etc. And I can remember a lot of things on the right-hand side of Canada. You've got Montreal, you've got Quebec, you've got Calgary, you've got St. John's, that part of the world. But for some reason, I can't remember anything about the middle. Starts with O, ends with A, is between Montreal and Toronto. Yeah, sorry. As soon as I said it, going, in my brain, I was like, hang on, that's not east. But it was too late by that. Oh, sorry, that's not... yeah, sorry, that is west, is what not east. But it was too late by then to... Oh, really, calling pigeon? That's so annoying, man. Isn't it? I'm sorry that because I know how much effort you put into setting up this flight plan. So yeah. Really, Ontario is Canada's capital. See, that's like Australia naming fucking Canada as the capital. Yeah, sure. Well done, Bryce. Naming Canberra as the capital. It's like New Zealand naming Wellington as the capital. Oh, it is in Ontario. It's in Ontario. Still, it's like Australia making Canberra the capital and New Zealand making Wellington the capital. What's in Ontario? Oh, you know, when I eventually figure it out, or one of you guys tell me, I'm going to probably tear my hair out. Not literally, obviously, colloquially. Just because I'll be like, wow, I didn't think of that. Are you serious? It'll be one of those, you know, because it's something that I should know. Because it's such a large country. I'm just trying to rack in my brain all the places I know in Canada. The problem is, a lot of the places I know in Canada, like I even know Iqaluit and Resolute Bay and Alert and... but I can't think of the fucking capital. Like, do you know how frustrating that is for like a geography buff like me to be able to name all these little insignificantly small places in, you know, Nunavut and the northern part of Canada and all that, but I can't name the freaking capital city. What is the newest Canadian province? That's not helpful. Okay, there's the Colossi of Memnon are now 2 houses. Yeah, absolutely. Calling pitch. Far out. That is annoying, isn't it? It probably has a Tim Hortons. Tootie, I wouldn't even know what a Tim Hortons is. I'm Australian. That's not a thing. Yeah, Tim Hortons, whatever it is, does not exist in Australia. Oh, right. Okay, William, that makes more sense. The capital does not host the Calgary Stampede, nor is it famous for lumberjacks. None of this is helping. The Senators play there. I thought the Senators were in the lower house of the White House. But anyway. It has locks and a beautiful canal right in the middle of the city. What is Tim Hortons, just out of interest, whilst we're on that subject as well? Ooh, hang on. Oh, right, okay, up there going. So I haven't been in it. However, does Tim Hortons exist in the Philippines? And the reason I ask that question is because the morning that I left the Philippines to go to Singapore, I got a coffee delivered by Grab Eats, and the cup had a Canadian flag on it. So I may have actually drank Tim Hortons, but I've never been in a Tim Hortons. Okay, in Manila. So that's where I was. I was in central Manila. So there we go. Without even realizing, I've had Tim Hortons coffee. I just went for the highest rated coffee shop that was open at that particular time of the morning in Manila. There you go. Oz Flight Simmer is here. He says, evening Bryce, Alan, everyone. Good evening, Shane. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing spectacularly there, mate. Yeah, Shane, do you know the capital of Canada? Don't say it. Of course Shane knows the capital of Canada. He used to live in Canada. But Shane, I'm having serious issues with trying to remember the capital of Canada. I can name like another 20 other cities in Canada, but not the freaking capital. Lena says, on the topic of Singapore, what area did you stay at during your time there? I didn't get to ask you the... Yeah, for sure, Lena. So, when I was going to Thailand, I stayed in Novena on Balestia Road, just down from Zhongshan Park. And then when I was coming back, I stayed in... Ooh, where was it? It was a little bit closer to the airport. It was near Serangoon, but it wasn't Serangoon.
Back in my bag, yo. Conscious. ISO. Down it. Back in my bag and I gotta brag. I do this shit for real. When we was down and we had nothing, we had to share a meal. We put the shit in overdrive with no steering wheel.
It's because where I stayed when I came back, was coming back from the Philippines via Singapore, I was only there for 2 nights. And it was right on the border of Serangoon Road and another one of the major roads there in Singapore. Yeah, I'm having trouble remembering the small suburb that the hotel was located in because I was surrounded by much bigger locations. You've been to Novena? It's quite nice because it gives you the old school experience of Singapore, old school Asia. Oh, you've been over to Sentosa Islands as well. Very nice, Mitty. That's about the only part of Singapore I didn't get to. That's alright, just means I can go back. But in the 2 hotels I stayed at in Singapore were nothing fancy or anything like that because accommodation in Singapore costs an arm and a leg.
This that back in my back flow, we back again so highly. This that back in my back flow, we back to change the climate. This that back in my back flow, we bring the force like Tommy. Back in my
Yeah, I was literally just saying that before, Shane. I'm like, Canada, New Zealand, and Australia share something in common. An idiot selected the capital city and chose one of the smallest. Bad word song, Mitty. I'll be honest with you, mate. I don't really check the lyrics of songs because it's just designed as a bit of background, you know. And honestly, I didn't hear anything because I'm not looking for it. If it does have really terrible words, do let me know and I will actually remove it from the playlist if it's really, really inappropriate. Yeah, no, not Toronto, not Vancouver, not Montreal, not Quebec, not Calgary, not Winnipeg, not Edmonton, not Victoria, not Kelowna, not Kamloops, not Iqaluit, not Alert, not Resolute Bay, not St. John's. See what I mean, Shane? I can name so many Canadian locations, but not the fucking capital. Oh, Mitty also was forgetting it. Now he remembers. It's named after the river it's on. I think you guys are overestimating some of my geographical knowledge. I know most of my cities and stuff quite well. Once you start naming rivers and landmarks, I'm like, no worries. It's an Algonquin name. think Justin Timberlake. The only thing that comes to mind when I think Justin Timberlake is I'm Loving It, the Macca's thing that they picked from his song, and Dance, Dance, Dance from the song he did for the movie Can't Stop This Feeling. So if you guys will give me a sec, I'm about to I'm gonna Google, well, I'm gonna Wikipedia Canada and then shoot myself when I realise what the capital is. Okay, that's cool. Yes, of course it is. Stream's over. I'm not sure I'll be back. Yeah, that was not my best moment. I should know that. Really should. In fact, I do know that. I just, skipped my mind. I'm quite familiar with the city. What can I say? It's just one of those situations that when you get put under pressure, sometimes you suffer. And that was this. William, are you making an arrival? And would you like us to grab the drone camera out if you are making an arrival? Maybe? Is that a maybe to making an arrival or maybe to having the drone or both? Mitty says, I guess I will see you next stream. Love the enthusiasm there, Mitty. I guess I'll see you in the next stream. Are you flying the ILS? Okay. Well, I'm happy to grab the drone camera out, William. Don't have anything else to do for the rest of the evening, so may as well, okay. I keep forgetting when I grab my controller, I have to grab it on the right-hand side, not the left, because the left sits over the fans on the PC, and it's like legit hot. Yeah, exactly, Shane. I am relatively good, very good, pretty good, however you want to word it, at naming capital cities. The only ones I failed on were Canada, Bolivia, Aruba, and St. Kitts and Nevis. Sucre. Is that it? For Bolivia? As in the Spanish name for, or the Italian name for sugar or whatever it is? I know for a fact that we flew there on the World Adventure. Geez, it's so foggy, or dusty, I'd say in this case. Looking good so far there, William, though, I must say. I mean, I know you're on the ILS, so it's pretty hard to screw it up, but, there's always that opportunity. Just whatever you do, Nobody ask William the capital city of somewhere whilst he's on. 2 seconds, folks. I will be back for William's landing. Thank you, Tootie. It's, I don't have many talents. In terms of, things that I can name and all that, but, I took a liking in geography from a young age because of my interest in flying. Looking really good here, William. Really good. So, Lena, what countries have you ever been to? So, I have been to New Zealand. I've been to Fiji. I have been to Hong Kong, SAR. I've been to Singapore. I've been to Malaysia. I have been to Thailand, I have been to Japan, I've been to Switzerland, France, Italy, England, Finland. Philippines. And Indonesia. Very nice landing there, by the way, William. Incredibly nice landing. Alright, anybody else up in the air? It doesn't look like it. So, okay. Guys, Jetstar Egypt. That's, interesting. Nice selection of aircraft over there as well. Alright, well, whilst William does make his way back to the terminal, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming along on this evening's stream. I appreciate every single one of you, whether you flew with us, whether you were in the chat. I also appreciate your patience in relation to A, the voice, and B, the interruptions. Lena, do I have a favourite of those countries? Yes, I do. Thailand. Just, it is incredible. So incredible. Do I have it favourite? In fact, let's go one further. Do I have it favourite city outside of Australia? Yes, I do. Chiang Mai in Thailand. If you haven't been there, do yourself a favour and go and try it. Like, that's to everyone in the chat. Go to if you're going to go to Thailand and you can only go to one place, go to Chiang Mai. You will not regret it. But as I was saying, guys, yeah, thank you very much for coming along. To those of you who have hit the like button, etc., thank you very much. I appreciate it. It sends all the good things out to YouTube, and we get results, hopefully, in return. If you haven't yet, I would absolutely love if you did make passionate movements on the like button. I'm sure it would enjoy it as well. And as for the subscription button, if you haven't hit that yet, give it a good pounding. It's, it's in the mood for it. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for coming along once again. Appreciate every single one of you, and I will catch all of you wonderful legends in the next stream. Wherever you are in the world, look after yourselves, stay safe, stay well, and don't do anyone I wouldn't do.
caving in to our doubts. Faces filled with
Dismissed.
sadness. When words are said